Hello everyone, welcome to the Corner Library. On this Sunday, the 17th of August, I'm filming this today, as always, to upload it for you tomorrow. It is very cloudy. It is very cold. I have the fire going. In fact, we've had the fire going for a couple of days. A couple of days now. We did let the fire go out because for the last week, we've had some really spring weather, and it's been not hot, but it has been warm. And so the house has been kept warm during the night, and enough to be comfortable. But yesterday it started tinkling a little bit, became a bit overcast. And so we started the fire, was yesterday. Yes, not the day before. And this morning I got up to make sure that the fire was still going, and I went to put a log on the fire, and I opened up the door, put the log in, and I really wasn't thinking, everyone, and as the door swung toward me, it was just automatic. Oh, I'll just knock that out of the way. And as I knocked it out of the way, I burnt my wrist. So a bit silly. So I'm a little bit sore at the moment. I do apologise. I hope I don't keep fiddling with it whilst I'm talking to you. The other thing I must tell you, everyone, I noticed last week, even though I couldn't help it once I had finished filming, or once I was working on the editing, the separate microphone that I have on this camera is playing up, and there was a lot of crackling. So I've decided to just use the camera's own speaker today. I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear me. I'm hoping it will be clear. But until I have that microphone checked, I may even what I may do is get a microphone that just clips onto my lapel or my jumper. I'm starting to have a little bit of trouble with that particular microphone, so that's a bit of a nuisance. Anyway, having said all that, I hope you're all well. I hope you are enjoying, or you have enjoyed your week, and you're enjoying your time reading or doing whatever it is that you're doing. Obviously, in the Northern Hemisphere, you're probably outdoors a lot more, possibly even reading under a lovely tree in the warmth or the heat. And of course, here in the Southern Hemisphere, a lot of us are just bunkering down. And well, actually, we've had really strange weather, because even though it's winter, here in central Victoria, we have had some a lot more than what we ordinarily would have at this time of year. We have had some spring weather, which has then made the day quite warm, and we've actually been in t-shirts outside. And then it changes into a very cold time, so we have to reignite the fire. And I know Sydney and Queensland, you've all had some disastrous rains and floods and things, so it's all really quite weird. But anyway, enough going on about all of that. Let's get into our books this week. A little bit of a mix today. Let's start. I read this week. I really do like these stories. They're very comforting. They're just easy. This is Frances Evesham's. This one is Murder at the Abbey. Now, she does have a lot in this series. This is the Exham Sea mystery series. She does have Murder at the Grange. I think Murder on the Bridge. Actually, I don't know if this one will have. It may not give us the details, but there's Murder on the Bridge, Murder at the Abbey, Murder at the Grange. It's quite an extensive series. There's possibly, I could be wrong, but there's probably about 10 in this series, I think. But look, it's fun. It's simply written. What I did find with this one, I have read one or two of her others, and I've enjoyed them. They've just been very simple, lovely little comfy crime mysteries. But what I did notice with this one, because it's a series, I just feel that Frances Evesham has automatically presumed that you've read the other books, and so you already know the characters. So when I haven't read her novels for, I think the last one I read was maybe a year or two ago. So I started this not fresh, but I started it not completely remembering all of the characters. And I just noticed a little bit that in the beginning, she jumps straight in to the characters as though you know them. And there are quite a few that she introduces. Well, she doesn't introduce them. She introduces them to the story quite quickly. So I did find myself probably in the first chapter going back and forth, thinking, hang on, who's that? Where are they? Who are they? So I don't know. Perhaps if you have read them, you haven't found that, and it may be the reading space that I was in, but I did find that a little confusing in the beginning because there were a lot of characters and there was a presumption that you already knew all about these characters. But once I really navigated myself through that. It wasn't too difficult, but it was still something that I did have to do. Once I did that, this is really good. It is a simple story. There is I don't want to tell you too much, you know that, but there is the finding of some bones that look to be it's around the Abbey, that look to be from centuries ago, but then something happens in present day surrounding that discovery of bones. Or is it? It's good fun. It is good fun. It's only a couple of 100 pages, everyone. And this is by Boldwood Publishing. Let me just double check that, make sure I've got that right. It is Boldwood Publishing. This was 2023, so it's not old. Oh, this paperback edition was 2023, but it was first published in 2021. They're a good, fun, don't get hooked up in police procedure or anything like that. They're just a really good, fun read. I recommend them. I have read a couple of others. I think I may have actually presented them here on the channel when I first began the channel. And yeah, I just find them really good fun, really easy. Now, a lot of you will have, and you will know about Kate Moss. She is an award-winning, best-selling author of historical fiction. This is The Winter Ghosts. Now, this is by, I'm fairly sure I know who it's published by, but we'll just double check. Orion paperback. This was in 2009, this one. Kate Moss wrote Labyrinth. She wrote Scepter, I think. They're all historical fiction. We go back in time, so it's usually two timelines. This one, we begin in 1928, and there is our protagonist who is lamenting the loss of his brother in the First World War. He comes across a woman on a stormy night, and I think he's walking or hiking. Let me just check the back of this. It tells me, no, he's not hiking. I beg your pardon. That's my fault. It's my brain not remembering. He's actually driving a car through the French Pyrenees, and he has a car accident. And then he comes across this woman, French woman, and they get talking about love and loss and war and his brother and so forth. By the time the night turns into day, we no longer have this French woman in our midst. And it then takes us back I think it's about 600 or 700 years beforehand. This is really good. Kate Moss is a brilliant writer with historical fiction. Now, let me just tell you how many pages it is. It's around about 280 pages. I recommend this. It's absolutely fantastic. And the other thing I didn't tell you about Murder at the Abbey, this one was about, I think it was about 250. Yes, 253 pages, that one. This is really good. I love Kate's writing. I love her historical fiction. Yeah, she brings another dimension to things, and they're original stories. They're not run-of-the-mill type historical fiction. She's really good. And there's a reason why she's a best-selling and award-winning. Okay, an Australian one for you, everyone. This is Lauren Amy Curtis. She's Australian. This is Strangers at the Port. Now, let me just get the lowdown for you, everyone. Let me get the lowdown. I'm still feeling the burn on my wrist. It's hurting. Okay, this was 2023 by Weidenfeld and Nicholson, but she is an Australian. Now, we have in this, I don't want to tell you too much, as you know. I'll just, before I go on, I'll tell you the pages as well, because otherwise 215. So this is not a difficult or a long read. And hardback, which I love. Now, we have a young girl who lives in a volcanic archipelago. It is an idyllic life. She lives with her sister, a family. It's an idyllic life until some strangers enter the port via their ship. This is beautiful. Now, what I do want to do, this is so beautiful. What I do want to do is read the first page for you, or just the first couple of paragraphs. Now, this, I think Lauren was voted the best young British novelist, even though she's Australian, it was a couple of years ago, maybe 2023, something like that. And also she was longlisted, this one was longlisted for the Miles Franklin, I think. Let me just check. Will it have it in here? Doesn't have it in here. She did write Dolores, which was her first novel. This is her second novel. Dolores was shortlisted for the Readings Prize and the UTS Glenda Adams Award for New Writing. It was also selected for the New Statesman's Book of the Year. But I'm fairly sure this was either the Pulitzer or the Miles Franklin. I'll just correct myself in the subtitles below. But anyway, I just want to read this first page because it really is lovely. Let me just take you away to this story. So here we begin. Of all the islands in the archipelago, ours was the greenest and ours was the richest. Our volcanoes lay dormant. Our soil was fertile. Our wine was famous, desired for its sweetness. It surprised the tongue and warmed the belly. Our wine was requested by kings and queens. Our wine was guzzled at royal banquets. Even the British Army stationed at Messina demanded our wine, got drunk on our wine, on their idle afternoons waiting for Napoleon. Long before this, our island emerged from the Tyrrhenian Sea. Our island began with volcanic eruptions. It had been home to the Greeks, the Carthaginians, the Romans, the Arabs, the Normans, and who knows who else by the time we arrived. I recommend this. Is absolutely beautiful. No wonder she has won prizes, and that she was the young British author or writer of the year. She really brings a beautiful sense of being, environment, the love of our protagonist's island and lifestyle, and then starts changing. So it's lovely. I recommend it. It's really good. And because she's Australian as well, it adds that better dimension, doesn't it? Okay, Bronte lovers. For all of you who love the Bronte sisters, or even Patrick, their brother, this is Michael Stewart's Walking the Invisible, following in the Bronte's footsteps. This is brilliant. Now, let me just give you the lowdown, everyone. We are published by HQ. Oh, how many pages are we? All up, around about 256. And it was published in 2021. This is brilliant. Now, what Michael does is he walks you through areas that the Brontes, including Patrick, their brother, where they walked, where they lived, where they wrote, where they certain events in their life occurred. This is really good. And I think this would be a really good one if you were up north in England, to take this with you on the walk as you explore in the footsteps of the Brontes. I recommend this. It's really informative. It's well written. It's not dry. Let me see if I can read you just a couple of oh, that's the introduction. Let me just read you something that may pique your interest. Okay, this story begins at the Old Bell Chapel on Thornton Road. Once the walls were strangled by green snakes of ivy, but a volunteer group ripped the limbs and sinews of vegetation, revealing these eerie remains: a broken bell tower, crumbling walls, and medieval tombstones. This is where Patrick Bronte came to preach when he moved his family from Hartshead, West Yorkshire, in 1815. He brought his wife Maria and their 2 daughters, both still babies, Maria Jr. and Elizabeth. The younger daughter was named after Elizabeth Bramwell, her mother's younger sister. The parish Patrick had just left was a similar size to that of Thornton, with about 5,000 parishioners. And so it goes on. This is really informative. I enjoyed it. And actually, it's one that you would definitely reread. I will definitely reread it. Throughout it gives you the maps of where you go and what you can see. It gives you all the drawings, really, of things in the area and of the tombstones and memorials, as you can see there. And then, of course, you also have the story of the walk for the bulk of the novel. It's really good. I recommend it. And can be read if you're a Bronte fan, or even if you're not. Even if you're not, it is extremely informative of the history of the time, the Brontes, the location. Really good. Now, in the past, I have recommended this, or I did recommend it. I am going, just as a bit of going back to old times' sake, I really do want to recommend this. I have, over the last few weeks, given you books that have, as part of the book review or book recommendations, the books that have really affected me and I have really enjoyed, for whatever reason that may be, whether it's the writing or the story or the presentation, or that it has resonated very well with me. And all of those also resonate well with me, whether it's really beautiful writing or historical. But these books that I've been presenting to you over the last few weeks have really hit a core. They've really hit me in the heart and the soul. So this is Tan Twang En, The House of Doors. Many of you will know him. This was his second in, I can't remember the other. He's got one out just recently, a new one. But the first one was The Green Rains. No, don't listen to me. I can't remember. Let me have a look. I'm trying to do this by memory, everyone. It's good for your memory, but I can't. I have so much going on in my mind at the moment that I can't recall his first novel. Oh well, doesn't matter. I will put it in the subtitles here. I can't remember the first. Oh, that's really annoying me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This was absolutely beautiful. We're in the 1920s in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. This is about love and loss. It is about displacement. It's about connection with people and places. It's beautiful, and I think this was actually recommended through the Queen's Reading Room as well. They interviewed the author Tan Tuang Eng, and he's a lovely person. He appears to be a really lovely person as well as a really good writer. I recommend this. This really touched my heart and my soul. Honestly, that is so annoying. I can't remember the first one, but there is also a third novel of his, which I will also put down in the subtitles. But I do recommend his writing. It is beautiful. It's atmospheric. There's something emotional about it as well. He really does capture the reader's emotion. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. Now, because we are currently, we're coming towards the end of our winter, but reading at any time is a must. I don't care whether it's the absolute heat of summer or the depths of winter. I love reading and I find it cozy at any time. But Elizabeth Jane Howard is an old writer. Many of you will have heard of her. This is just one that I picked off the shelf just to show you because it is a beautiful hardcover. This is the fifth in the series of the Casalets, which begins in 1920, and this one takes us through to 1950. This is called The Change. It's really, it deals with a family. I think actually they had a series on it in England through the BBC, I think it was. And it deals with a family, the Casalets, and the Casalets? Yes, I'm fairly sure that's how you pronounce it, Casalets. And just the different dimensions, the different dynamics, and also how their lives evolve. I recommend this. It's really comfy, cozy, very similar to, probably a bit more in-depth than Miss Read or who else is there? Do you know, my mind is really blank. I think being burnt has actually burnt a section of my brain. I can't remember who else. There's Elizabeth Jane Howard we have. Then there's Miss Read, but Miss Read is a bit more short story and a little bit simpler, not as complex in characters as Elizabeth Jane Howard. This is a really good series and I recommend it. But I'm just trying to think, who else is there, everyone? I can't think for the life of me. I'll put anybody that I'm missing at the moment that I would equate with Elizabeth Jane Howard, I'll put in the subtitles. But yeah, it's just that comfy, cozy, watching people's lives evolve and interact, dissecting them a little bit, their characters and the decisions that they make. It's just lovely. They're really good stories. So I recommend Elizabeth Jane Howard. Now, this particular edition, which you can get in the whole series in this is just one, the All Change, but this is by Mantle. And this was first published in 2013, but I think she wrote it a bit before that. So, yeah, the Casalets. Thank goodness I remembered that. This is the fifth in the series. Oh, and I just wanted to show you the beautiful, in this particular edition, it's a beautiful powder blue, and then we have the family tree so that we know who's what where, how old they are and where they fit in the family. But look, the first in the series does begin in the 20s, I think, or the 30s. And then this one, we are now in the 50s. I recommend them. So that's Elizabeth Jane Howard. That one is All Change, but it is the Cazalet's series. Tan Twang En, The House of Doors, I recommend this, and I'll let you know the others in that he had, not in the series, but the other books that he has written. They're absolutely beautiful, and I do recommend that one particularly. It really touched me when I read it. It was absolutely beautiful, and I couldn't stop reading it. That's another thing with Elizabeth Jane Howard. You can't stop reading them. They're fabulous, but they are a put down, pick up type book. You don't have to necessarily read it in one go. And then, as you can see, it's not really doable to read in one go anyway. So Michael Stewart's Walking the Invisible. This is following in the footsteps of the Brontes. I recommend this. It gives you history and the history on the Brontes, but also history at the time, and also the topography and all that. It's just really, really good. Australian. This is Lauren Amy Curtis, Strangers at the Port. Absolutely beautiful. I recommend you read this. It's a short one. It's only a couple of 100 pages, and it is a beautiful story. She has won prizes for her story, for both her novels, and the fact that she's just a brilliant writer. Murder at the Abbey. I enjoyed this, but just at the beginning it was a little bit confusing because I hadn't read Frances Evesham for quite some time, I think about a year or two. So it did take me a little bit of time to find out who was who and what was what, but I enjoyed it. It was good fun, comfy read. And of course, Kate Moss, The Winter Ghosts. She has a whole other other sort of historical fiction that are well worth reading. But The Winter Ghosts I really enjoyed. Okay, that is it, everyone. I am off today. I'm going to be editing this for you, or when I say editing, I have to synchronize the vocals with the audio, with the film, the footage, and then I'll upload it to YouTube for you in the morning. And then I have a little bit to do around here. I have to go out to the shops. I have a pair of sneakers that I bought earlier this year just to walk in. I don't know if any of you remember, but I do walk 5 kilometres a few times a week. And the shoes have already, they were a jolly good price. They weren't cheap, and they've already started breaking away. And I only use them a few days a week for a 5 kilometre walk. So I've been told that I should really take them back, which I am doing. I'm going to take them back and just have a bit of a discussion with the shop that sells those particular shoes. And they were the ones who actually asked me to take them back. So I'll probably do that today, and because I really do need good walking shoes. And, well, as we all do, we all need, when you're walking, I think it's really important to have a really good, proper shoe that fits your foot. So I'm going to be doing that. There is a likelihood I may have to groom a friend's dog, even though the weather's not that conducive to standing around or making the dog stand around either. So I'm not too sure how we'll go with that. We'll see. But that's it, everyone. Mark is outside. He is doing a few things in the garden. The boys are here by the fire. All 3 boys are in here, and it's overcast and mucky. I hope it cheers up a little bit. Although we do need the rain. I can't complain. We do need the rain. All right, everyone. I really do hope that you have a wonderful week. That's important. Whatever you're doing, remember, if it helps you in any way at all, try to remember at least 3 things every day that make you grateful for where you are and what you're doing and what you have in your life. I do try to do that. And, go every day, try to do something that you enjoy, whether that's going for a walk or seeing friends, or even with me, I actually go to a Buddhist temple, and there's a cafe, and I every now and then I just sit on my own in the cafe, or outside the cafe, I read a book and I have a drink, a lovely drink, whatever that may be. So that's just something I really enjoy. It's just a little bit of self-care, time out, time for me. So whatever it is, whether it's reading with others or reading by the fire or reading under a tree or not reading and you're doing the garden or going for a walk or whatever it is, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a great week and I will see you next Monday. Take care, everyone. Happy reading. Bye for now.